that was,
Nice.
yeah, nice.
One of the biggest, probably most crucial aspects of the iCarly fandom is the ships. The show is really popular because there was a lot of speculation among which one of the main characters would get together. Primarily, there were Creddie shippers, people who wanted Carly and Freddie to be together, and Seddie shippers, people who wanted Sam and Freddie to be together. Throughout the course of the original series, there were constant hints of Creddie and Seddie being a thing. There were even episodes and arcs dedicated to exploring these relationships. The Creddie and Seddie ship kind of took on such a life of its own that the writers were forced on many occasions to acknowledge them.
Did Freddie kiss in the final episode? Well, it's Carly Shay, woo! Look who wins, I do! Freddie loves Carly, baby, yeah! Just leave it all to me! Leave it all to me.
Now, in the original run of iCarly, none of these ships ended up being endgame, and in the case of Carly and Freddie, it was left open-ended by the end of the series. So in this video, we're going to be exploring the Creddie and Seddie ships, and ultimately which one ended up working out the best. So let's get started with the Creddie ship. So the Creddie ship is probably the way more popular and obvious ship of the two, mostly because it was established that Freddie was in love with Carly since the pilot episode.
I'm in love with you, you just want to be friends, and I'm totally cool living with that constant pain.
So since the inception of the show, the possibility of them ending up together has always been on the table. Carly and Freddie's possible romantic relationship is never fully explored, at least not in the original run of the series. Most of the relationship is Freddie hopelessly pining over Carly and Carly constantly rejecting his advances. As the series goes on, Freddie stops hitting on Carly and they maintain a healthy friendship. In the iCarly reboot, however, their romantic relationship is fully explored and is actually a huge part of the series. Creddie has always been the more popular ship. I think growing up watching the show, it was the ship that I liked the most only because it was the most obvious. So because the majority of the relationship is Freddie having unrequited feelings for Carly, the first real progress we get in the Creddie ship is season 2, episode 24, I Speed Date. Carly wants to attend her high school dance and it's the girls ask boys, but she's having difficulty finding a date.
Wanna go with me, possibly? Did I just spit in your eye?
Sam has no interest in attending the dance, and Freddie has already been asked by 2 girls but hasn't confirmed with any of them, holding out hope that Carly would want to ask him.
In case someone else wants to ask me?
No.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. Just then, Malika, an expert magician, asks Freddie out to the dance. Freddie doesn't want to go with her, but she makes a convincing argument.
Yeah.
Well, think about choosing me. If you want to have a magical night.
Carly is still frustrated she won't have a date to the dance, and Sam suggests they use iCarly to get her a date with a boy in the Seattle area. Carly turns down the idea because she thinks it would make her seem too desperate. However, during the web show, Sam ties Carly down and duct tapes her mouth as she proceeds to ask all the male viewers to send in an email if they are interested in going to the dance with Carly. At first, Carly is upset that Sam solicited a date for her over the internet, but she eventually gets on board. In order to make up for it though, Carly tells Sam she has to ask Gibby out to the dance, since she would have done it herself but now is unable to because of her commitment that Sam made. Sam asks Gibby out but he turns her down, which makes her really angry. Freddie also at this point has to go out with Malika because his other options chose other dates, so now only Carly needs a date. At the Groovy Smoothie, over 700 guys show up for a chance to date Carly. The gang decides to organize a speed dating contest. Each guy will have 15 seconds to talk to each of them. They send the good ones over to Carly and filter out the duds. During the speed dates, Freddie tries to sabotage it by sending away attractive boys Carly would undoubtedly like.
Male model? Well, I was, but I quit modeling because now I'm a lead singer in this really cool band and
Carly would hate you.
But no, get out of here!
And sending through the really weird, disturbing guys she would definitely not like.
Girls usually don't like me because I have an odd odor.
You know, I think you might be perfect for Carly.
However, Carly was able to find a date she liked on her own. After Spencer tried and failed to have a birds and bees conversation with Carly, she heads off to the dance with her date, who seems to have a bad habit of interrupting her.
My dad sent it to him from Japan while he was there.
My brother has a Daikon Super Shot. Nice!
You know, I think Freddie has a Daikin, but
We should get to the dance.
Oh. Well, okay.
Meanwhile, Sam heads over to Gibby's house to ask him out to the dance. She assumed he said no because he was intimidated or scared of her, but turns out Gibby said no because he has a really hot girlfriend. Sam leaves confused and in shock, but back at the Groovy Smoothies after the dance, Malika again showcases her impressive magic tricks before disappearing at the end of the night, and Carly's date again continues to interrupt her until she loses it and kicks him out.
You wanna go
What are
with
you
me?
trying to say?
Get out of here!
Both Carly and Freddie lament about how unfun the dance was, and Freddie invites Carly to dance with him, saying they each deserve to have at least one dance with someone they don't want to kill. Carly agrees and they share a tender, intimate moment, dancing the night away, except Sam walks in and sees them and seems shocked and taken aback, but ultimately she leaves for them to enjoy the night. This was the first real progress in the Creddie ship because it was the first time Carly made any real indication of reciprocating Freddie's feelings for her. For so long, the relationship was one-sided that this episode lit a flame in the Creddie fandom. There was finally a chance of Carly and Freddie being together, and not too long after this, the show finally went all the way in on Creddie. I saved your life. So in this episode, Carly has been requested by fans to dress up in a bunny suit and offer to brush people's teeth for $1. While doing the dare, Carly tried to cross the street when a taco truck almost ran her over. Freddie pushed Carly out of the way, saving her life, but getting hit in the process. Carly feels incredibly guilty about getting Freddie hurt, and the news of Freddie's bravery starts spreading around the school with everyone calling him a hero. One day while visiting Freddie, Mrs. Benson, who is very angry with Carly for getting Freddie hurt, heads out when Freddie slips and falls in the bathroom. Carly helps him out of the shower by wearing blindfolds, and when she sits with him, they talk more about the incident. Carly tells Freddie that he's a hero and leans in and kisses him. Their kiss is interrupted when Mrs. Benson returns and attacks Carly with Freddie's underwear. Carly and Freddie immediately begin dating, which kinda comes out of nowhere.
Well, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Benson.
They officially become boyfriend and girlfriend, but Sam isn't convinced the relationship will last. She tells Freddie that she believes the only reason Carly has all of a sudden become so interested in him is only because he saved her life, and that she's in love with what he did, but not in love with him. Freddie internalizes this, and when she meets up with Carly again, realizes that she only likes aspects about him, such as his nerdy tech dribble, after he saved her. He tells her that they should wait until the hero narrative dies down and he's fully healed, and if she still likes him, then they should actually date. And they never did, so I guess she didn't actually like him. What's funny about this too is that Freddie instantly regretted his decision. For the rest of the show, they remained friends and never really tried to date or be with each other since. Moving forward, Freddie also makes less advances towards Carly, kind of indicating that he's also moved on a little. Except for the finale episode, I Goodbye. In this episode, Carly's father has returned and wants her to spend time with him in Italy, meaning Carly would have to move away and also end the web show. Carly sends a tearful goodbye to everyone, and when saying goodbye to Freddie, she kisses him out of nowhere. He celebrates, it never leads to anything, and it hints at the possibility of them liking each other and them being meant to be together. And that's it. That was the end of Creddie. It was pretty interesting that this ship was probably the fan favorite, but interestingly enough, the ship isn't really explored much during the course of the show, but it is picked up again in the iCarly reboot. In the iCarly reboot, Freddie and Carly's relationship is explored even further. Carly has moved back to Seattle, and Freddie at this point has been divorced twice and is raising his adopted daughter from his second marriage, Millicent. Throughout the show, there are constant hints of Carly and Freddie finally ending up together. They constantly flirt and tease at the possibility of being together. That all comes to a head in an arc where Freddie begins to date a new girl, Pearl. Their relationship is pretty tumultuous because Pearl constantly feels threatened by Carly. In one episode on Freddie's birthday, Freddie wants a huge birthday celebration, and Pearl is planning the party, but because she doesn't know Freddie that well, makes really bad choices about the party, pretty much trying to do everything that Freddie would actually hate.
You've been very clear. You want a murder mystery party. So the theme of the party is crows.
Carly, in order to protect their relationship and make Pearl feel more secure, plans the party herself in a way that she knows Freddie would love, and tries to get everyone to go along with the idea that it was all Pearl's idea. However, throughout the party, Pearl starts to feel bad that she doesn't know Freddie as well as Carly does, and believes that Freddie and Carly are in love with each other. Pearl storms off and Freddie goes after her. In the next episode, we find out that Carly and Freddie have not spoken to each other in 3 weeks. After his birthday party, Freddie went on a road trip with Pearl to work on their relationship. Once Freddie returned, things continued to be awkward between them, and they both avoided really talking about the situation and the problem in their friendship, and Carly begins to feel really jealous about the relationship between Freddie and Pearl. Eventually they decide to talk it out, and that no matter what, they will always be there for each other. But Carly realizes she has strong feelings for Freddie when her knees buckle. Freddie and Pearl continue to date, and Carly is still hung up over Freddie. Harper pushes Carly to try online dating, and she meets a cute guy but still feels an attraction towards Freddie. While out on a date, Carly tries to prove just how over Freddie she is, and Freddie tries to prove just how comfortable with Carly's new relationship he is. But they both end up making Pearl feel like they like each other more than ever.
You suck. And you suck.
Carly gets frustrated and breaks up with Freddie and steals Carly's new date. Carly says that now that Freddie is single, he'll have more time for iCarly, and that just makes him really mad, and he storms out on her. Carly goes to apologize to Freddie and they agree to try to be adult friends. They hug and Freddie's knees buckle, indicating that he likes her too. In the next episode, Carly has all her old pictures destroyed when Spencer uses her hard drive for a sculpture and it goes wrong. So they decide to recreate all of Carly's memories and take new pictures, which is a perfectly logical response to losing all of your pictures.
Carly, wake up!
Anyways, Carly is trying to not act on her feelings and remain friends with Freddie and asks Spencer to help her keep it that way. But after they recreated the memory of Carly and Freddie slow dancing at the Groovy Smoothie after their high school dance, the two lean in and almost kiss. Carly, now feeling that Freddie likes her back, decides to lean into the romantic memories to bring them closer together. And so she decides to recreate the memory of when Freddie came to visit her while she was in Italy, when they had a romantic dinner. They set up a whole backdrop and recreate the moment, except Freddie remembers that moment a little differently.
Moved, you were so lonely, we talked for hours every day. And I planned that fancy dinner because I was gonna ask you to be my girlfriend.
You never said that.
Right.
I actually think this was the first time we ever really got to the real underlying issue with the Creddie ship. For most of the relationship, is Freddie hopelessly pining for someone who doesn't like him. He confronts her on her out-of-nowhere kiss in the series finale, but Carly says it was just her way of trying to give them both closure on their relationship. Carly gets angry because Freddie made it seem like just being friends with her was a consolation prize from not being able to be with her, and Freddie's mad at Carly because he feels like she strung him along knowing how he felt about her.
I got stuck in the past. You know, how much it hurt when we were kids and Carly rejected me. It was like there was this huge sign, just friends.
It's not fair that you made me the bad guy for all these years just because I didn't like you back.
If you didn't like me, why did you kiss me?
To give us closure.
And you know what? They're both right. I definitely do think Carly leveraged the fact that Freddie had feelings for her, and Freddie 100% held out hopes that being just friends with her would one day lead to a relationship for them. Anyways, they're both mad at each other, but Carly finally decides to take the leap of faith and let Freddie know exactly how she feels about him. So she makes this huge arc with recovered pictures of all of their memories and professes her feelings for Freddie, and Freddie reciprocates, and they promise that despite whatever happens with them dating each other, they will always be in each other's lives. Carly and Freddie start dating and continue to do so for the remainder of the series. Freddie is even planning on proposing to Carly by the series finale, but we'll never know how that relationship goes because Paramount cancelled the reboot. I think it's clear that the plan was to make Carly and Freddie endgame anyways, so it's fine. And in explaining their decision to cancel the series, Paramount actually cites the fact that the series accomplished what it was set out to do, which was to give the fans the Creddie closure they needed. So that's the Creddie relationship. Looks like Creddie won in the end. This was my preferred ship as a child, but honestly as an adult, I don't like the ship that much. Not only was it just too obvious, but also Carly just never seemed to like Freddie in that way in the original run of the series. So it never seemed like a truly romantic ship. In all honesty, as an adult watching the show, Sam seemed to like Freddie a lot more than Carly, so the fact that Carly and Freddie became endgame is insane. But now let's actually look at the Seddie ship. So the Seddie ship is pretty interesting because it's a lot more complex than the Creddie ship. Seddie is essentially an enemies to lovers ship because for most of the series, Sam is very abusive and aggressive towards Freddie. So the revelation that Sam actually liked Freddie was actually a huge deal back in the day. Even as a kid, I was never really sold on the Seddie ship, only because I've always felt that the way Sam treated Freddie was borderline psychopathic. Like Sam was just mean to Freddie and teased him from time to time, like Sam was super aggressive and violent towards him. So I don't know, the idea of them dating and liking each other never really appealed to me because she almost killed him multiple times.
Remember the time I pushed you in front of that bike messenger and he knocked you down and your head hit that fire hydrant? Well, afterwards, when you were laying there, moaning, blood coming out your ear.
But let's go all the way to the beginning where they first shared a kiss. I kiss. In this episode, Freddie pulls a prank on Sam in retaliation for her putting a dead fish in his locker. Freddie handcuffs Sam to Gibby, which really infuriated her. After letting them go, Sam vows to get Freddie back for his revenge. The next day, Sam and Carly went to see a cheesy teen flick called The First Kiss, which sparked a conversation among the group about their first kisses. Sam and Carly recount their experience having their first kiss, but before they got to Freddie, Sam left to go get food. While alone, Carly interrogates Freddie about his first kiss, but he acts coy and avoids the conversation before admitting to Carly that he's never kissed anyone before, not even when he went out with Valerie for that short period of time. Freddie begs Carly not to tell anyone and she promises, only Sam was listening to the conversation the entire time. At the next iCarly web show, the gang plays a trailer for their take on a cheesy teen movie, which was actually pretty spot on. After the web show, Sam tells everyone Freddie's secret that he's never kissed a girl.
Freddie's never kissed a girl. Never, not once.
At school, Freddie faces relentless teasing and bullying from students and teachers. It gets so bad that Freddie has to stay home and skip school to avoid the embarrassment. He even misses the next iCarly web show, and Carly confronts Sam about how badly she messed up Freddie's life. Sam feels guilty and during the web show apologizes to Freddie and defends him, and even goes off as to say that she also has never kissed anyone either. Carly stops the web show to applaud Sam for lying just to protect Freddie, but Sam reveals she wasn't lying and that she's actually never kissed anyone before. Sam decides to talk with Freddie and she apologizes to him again, and he reveals that he watched the web show where she revealed that she never kissed anyone. They bond over the fact that they feel pressure to have their first kiss and get it off the way, so Freddie comes up with the idea that they kiss just to get it over with. They kiss and promise to go back to how everything was before, mutually liking each other while still making fun of each other and never speaking of their kiss ever again. I think they kissed. In this episode, during an iCarly segment, Sam bites into a squash and her tooth falls out. Sam reveals that she hasn't been to a dentist in 12 years, so Carly takes it upon herself to take her to get her teeth fixed. Sam was very nervous about her appointment and would bite the dentist and lash out, so they had to give her nitrous oxide just to get her to calm down. After doing the procedure, Sam was still very loopy from the gas and was mostly incoherent, but under the influence of the gas, she tells Carly the secret of her kissing Freddie.
Me and Freddie kissed. You know.
Carly is shocked from the news, but because Sam doesn't remember having the conversation, she's put in a difficult position where she knows the secret she's not supposed to know and can't talk to Sam about it. She confides in Spencer and he tells her that maybe the kiss never happened, that maybe in Sam's delirious state she was confused and said something that never happened. Carly decides to confront Freddie to get the truth, so she tells him what Sam said and he tries to run to avoid the conversation. After a little tussle where Freddie was able to overpower Carly, he admits that he and Sam did in fact kiss. He made her promise not to tell Sam and that she has to get Sam to tell her herself. Carly confronts Sam and lets the truth out. At first, Sam gets mad at Freddie, but Carly explains that she was the one who told her. Meanwhile, in the Beast storyline, Spencer volunteers at a prison to teach inmates art so they have a better chance at reintegration once they leave prison. While there, the inmates want to sculpt a huge pair of pants and give it to Spencer, and when he wasn't looking, some of them snuck in the pants to escape. Spencer brought the pants back home, and the inmates tied up the iCarly gang and escaped. While tied up, Sam and Freddie agreed to no longer keep secrets from Carly and promised to tell her everything. Carly asked them more about the kiss and whether or not they actually liked it. They never really answered, but it seemed like they might have actually enjoyed it.
I mean, did you guys, like it?
IOMG. In this episode, Brad, a guy who previously interviewed to be iCarly's intern, makes a reappearance and is hired to work with iCarly. He's also attending Ridgeway and is working with Freddie on a school project. Sam uncharacteristically asks to help Freddie and Brad on their project. Not only that, but she also spends more time hanging out with both of them and has been acting kinder and nicer. The iCarly gang are locked in at school to work on their projects for the night, and Freddie is suspicious that Sam's planning something, but she assures him there's no trick. Freddie's project is a mood detector app that is able to detect the mood of a person just by scanning their face. Freddie tests the app on Sam, and it comes back saying that she's in love. Freddie runs to tell Carly that he believes the reason Sam has been acting so differently and spending so much time with him and Brad is because she's in love with Brad. Carly gets excited and confronts Sam about her love for Brad, but she denies being in love with anyone. Carly decides that she and Freddie have to help make Sam more comfortable to make a move on Brad. They try to get them to spend time alone together, but it doesn't work. Carly tells Sam not to be scared and be willing to make a move if she likes someone, but Sam once again denies having any feelings for Brad. Sam hangs out alone thinking about her conversation with Carly when Freddie comes out to talk to her. She threatens him to leave and again says she doesn't have any feelings for Brad, but he encourages her to go for it when Sam out of nowhere kisses Freddie, with Carly witnessing it in the background. I lost my mind. After the events of the previous episode, Hassan has been missing and nobody knows where she is. The gang tracks her pair phone to a mental hospital and they find Sam. Carly talks with Sam, who explains that she checked herself into the hospital after realizing she has feelings for Freddie because she thinks that means she's insane. Freddie and Sam had a conversation and he convinces her that she isn't going insane and to leave the hospital. Sam agrees and the gang tries to leave but are stopped because Sam is not allowed to discharge herself without the approval of a parent, and her mom is in another country getting laser hair removal. The gang dresses Spencer up as Sam's mom to get her out, but someone at the hospital recognizes him and his cover is blown. Sam is still not allowed to leave and the gang have to do the web show that day, so they decide to do it at the hospital. During the web show, they allow viewers to call in to give their opinion on whether or not they think Sam is crazy for liking Freddie.
Seddie! Seddie!
So you think Sam and Freddie should be together?
Seddie!
Each caller says they think it's perfectly normal that Sam likes Freddie. Freddie himself calls in to give his opinion on how he really feels about Sam. Sam thinks Freddie is going to use the opportunity to embarrass her, but he kisses her, reciprocating her feelings for him. I date Sam and Freddie. In this episode, Sam and Freddie officially begin dating. However, they find themselves having an argument and ask Carly for her opinion. Carly gives them advice that resolves the issue they're having and they go back to loving each other again. However, throughout the course of the episode, they continue to have arguments and continually rely on Carly to resolve the issues for them, even going as far as waking her up in the middle of the night to resolve their issues. Eventually, they insist on Carly joining them on their dates to resolve any issue they might have, and without fail, they start arguing about something stupid. Carly eventually loses her temper and refuses to help them resolve their issues anymore, and tells them that if they can't resolve their issues on their own, then maybe they shouldn't even be dating. I can't take it. Sam says that she and Freddie have started fighting less, and Freddie has finished editing a trailer for an iCarly segment, but when he shows it to the girls, Carly realizes that Freddie edited her out of the trailer and focused the camera primarily on Sam. Just then Gibby enters and Sam beats him up and is a lot more aggressive towards him than usual. The group realizes that because Sam is dating Freddie, she turns her anger and frustration out on Gibby instead.
Well, I gotta be mean to somebody.
No, you don't. Ow!
Sam and Freddie continue to spend more time together, but have to do so in secret because Freddie's mom still doesn't know he's dating Sam, and he's scared of how she'll react. Gibby becomes frustrated at being the brunt of Sam's anger, and so tells Mrs. Benson the truth that Freddie is dating Sam. Together, they come up with a plan to get Sam and Freddie to break up. Meanwhile, Freddie gets news that he has not been accepted into a science program, and wonders why he didn't get in because he believed his application was really good. Just then, Mrs. Benson walks in and bribes Freddie with almost $100,000 worth of precious metal to break up with Sam. And it's like, that was the best plan they could come up with? Bribery? Freddie refuses and continues to date Sam, much to Mrs. Benson's annoyance. On the day of the iCarly web show, Sam and Freddie are late and Carly has to do the show without them by herself, well, with Gibby to help. When they finally arrive, they explain that Mrs. Benson cornered them and they had to take a detour to get away. Carly is frustrated that their relationship seems to be interfering with the web show, but they think she's angry because she's just jealous of their relationship and they believe she might have been the one to tell Mrs. Benson about them. Carly reveals that it was actually Gibby, and in a fit of rage, Sam attacks Gibby and beats the living shit out of him. After going to the hospital, Gibby and Mrs. Benson persuade Carly to help them break up Sam and Freddie, and she reveals to them that the real reason Freddie wasn't accepted into the science program was because Sam changed the answers on the application months before they started dating. And he's so hurt over it, it seems that the relationship is over. But at the last minute, Carly convinces Freddie to forgive Sam and the two continue dating. I love you. Sam and Freddie, still dating, lament about the fact that recently they've hardly spent time together because they have such different interests. Carly suggests that they try taking an interest in each other's activities so that they can spend time together. So Freddie invites Sam to his train enthusiast club. Meanwhile, Spencer reunites with his old babysitter and the two hit it off and begin dating. Though they maintain the elements of their old relationship, with her still acting like his babysitter.
After you brush your teeth and get into your pajamas.
Why can't I just have...
Whiny boys don't get popcorn.
I'm not whiny! I'm not...
Sam makes a very bad impression on the other members and destroys their model trains in the process. Because of this, the club has banned Freddie from returning. Carly suggests that maybe Freddie should try to take an interest in one of Sam's activity. So Sam invites Freddie to visit her family in prison. On the visit, Sam smuggles ham in Freddie's pants to give to her family, and while taking them out, they get busted and her family gets punished. Because of how disastrous both events were, Sam and Freddie agree to stop trying to take an interest in the other's thing. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Spencer continues to have a weird relationship with his old babysitter until Carly confronts them on how weird it is. She says that they're trying to force the connection they have into a relationship despite them both knowing that it's wrong. Sam and Freddie overhear this conversation, and even though Carly wasn't referring to them, they agree that their relationship doesn't seem to feel right and they don't really click, and so they decide to break up and remain friends. Hashtag Big Tuna Jump. So the Sam and Freddie relationship is explored further in Sam and Kat. In this episode, Kat has plans to work on a project with Jade, but refuses to ever have Jade over because she fears that once Jade and Sam see each other, they'll probably kill each other. Jade comes over to Kat's house anyways, and Sam and Jade officially meet each other. Kat passes out from all the anxiety, but when she comes to, she's shocked to find out that Jade and Sam actually get along with each other and have become fast friends. Jade and Sam continue to hang out more frequently, oftentimes to the exclusion of Kat. Feeling jealous of their friendship, Kat decides to steal one of Sam's friends to make her jealous, and so she calls Freddie under false pretenses and says that Sam was hurt in an accident and that he needs to come to LA immediately. And they spend the day hanging out trying to make Sam jealous. When Sam runs into them at Bots, she's really angry that Freddie didn't call or check on her when he arrived, but Kat intentionally keeps him busy to make Sam jealous. Jade picks up on the romantic history between Freddie and Sam and suggests that if she wants to get even with Kat, then she should hang out with a guy that he likes. So Sam ropes in Robbie to make Kat jealous. Eventually, Sam and Kat get into a huge fight over them using their love interest to make the other jealous, and Sam, out of anger, agrees to do a dangerous stunt. Kat doesn't want her to do it, but Sam says she'll do it anyway because it's clear that Kat doesn't really care about her. On the night of the jump, Kat dresses up as Sam and takes her place to do the stunt to protect her, but doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle and crashes. Sam and Kat make up and resolve their issues, and Freddie and Robbie get attacked by Killer Tuna. In the hospital while recovering, Sam tells Freddie that once he heals, they should go out to dinner, hinting at a possible revival for their relationship. But it never happened, because Freddie went on to propose to Carly. Probably. So that's pretty much the Seddie ship. I just could never get on board with the ship because of how abusive Sam was to Freddie, and it was always played for laughs. The fact that Sam was literally violent towards Freddie. And it's funny because in the beginning, it was just Sam being mean and teasing Freddie, to her hurting him any chance she got. I do like that we got to explore the relationship more, and I felt like it could have been an opportunity for Sam to let go of her anger, but they couldn't fathom the idea of letting go of the Sam is aggressive jokes. So despite ships being a major part of the iCarly fandom, the writers wrote a whole episode making fun of people who bought into the shipping culture. In the episode, the iCarly gang are finally attending WebCon, a conference for internet personalities. While at the panel, the crowd becomes agitated and split into Creddie shippers and Seddie shippers, and start an entire fan war over who they think Freddie should end up with. The episode depicts the shippers as essentially losers who care too much about the potential romance between these characters. The thing that bothers me about this is that the show kind of has this cynicism towards the ships in the show, while simultaneously recognizing that the romantic interest in this show is one of the driving factors of iCarly's popularity, and it seems that they were so unwilling to commit to any of these ships because they might resent the fact that the ships were such a huge part of the iCarly fandom. Throughout the show, the possibility of Freddie being with Carly or Sam is a driving force for the popularity of the show, but the writers refuse to commit to any of it. The most viewed episode of iCarly ever with over 11 million views is the I Save Your Life episode, which is only significant because it's a Creddie episode.
Tomorrow, it's Freddie and Carly like you've never seen them.
Are we like boyfriend and girlfriend now?
I don't know, maybe.
And if you think that's shocking, wait till Sam finds out.
What just happened in there? I kissed Freddie.
Where will they go from here?
You just can't stand the idea of Carly and me as a couple.
Very true. It makes me want to puke up blood.
Find out in I Saved Your Life, the brand new iCarly special, tomorrow at 8, followed by the world premiere of Big Time Rush, only on Nick.
It's just an episode where Carly and Freddie tried dating, and that episode was watched by more people than the iCarly movie, than all the major iCarly hour-long episodes, more than the Victorious crossover, and even more than the iCarly series finale. That episode is the second most watched episode in Nickelodeon history. So clearly there's a huge appetite for these ships, but the writers refused to lean into it. And my theory is that they didn't want the iCarly series to be so much about the romantic relationship between the characters, so instead they tease out the relationships a little over time, even try out some of them, only to make none of them work. Like, it is not lost on me that the writers made Freddie end up with both Carly and Sam in the original series, just for both of them to end badly. It was almost like them saying, see, we gave you guys what you wanted and it didn't work out. Let's move on now, but I just want to make it perfectly clear, the only reason Creddie and Seddie didn't work out in the show is because the writers didn't want them to. If they wanted either Carly and Freddie or Sam and Freddie to be endgame, they could have been. And that kind of cynicism really bothered me because even after the show ended, they still teased the fact that the ships in the show were a huge part of the fandom. There's literally an entire Game Shakers episode dedicated to trying to resolve the issue of whether Freddie really liked Sam or Carly. So it only seems fair that they should have given those ships a little bit more of an actual try in the original run of the show. So there you have it, the Creddie Seddie ships. I gotta be honest, I like the Creddie ship more just because it felt less weird and abusive, but I do think the Seddie ship was the way more interesting and complex of the ships, and could have been really good if the writers just let it be good. So those are my thoughts on the iCarly ships. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are, what ships you guys liked the most, and if you guys agree with me about how badly these ships were handled. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.